Fuck that. And is something that you need to forget instantly. I don't care if you have to train yourself. I don't care if you have to look in the mirror. Get rid of get rid of get rid of gaps. It just completely destroys your entire image. That shit needs to go. And it's something that can be learned. And when I sit there and listen to people, oh, well, yeah. Well, yesterday we went out and then, it's like, what the fuck do you mean, I went out and then, well, you don't remember what you did yesterday? How slow is your fucking brain? You look like a moron. 99% of people look like idiots because they don't pay attention to how they speak. So the oration is extremely important. You get rid of you get rid of ahs, you get rid of this bullshit. This is one of the first things you have to do to speak convincingly. Second things is with the hands, the body language. The third thing is you have to be, if you're standing or you're sitting regardless, you have to have a presence as a person. Nobody believes in nobody. So if you're sitting in a room, you need to be overtly taking up space as a man, especially. They call it mansplaining. That's what all the feminists call it. He's mansplaining. He's taking up space. I'm a man. I'm a fucking man. I got space. My space. It's mine. And I have something to say and you're to listen. If you want to be believed, it's a combination of things. But a lot of people just want to sit in their little chair. Well, I was thinking that for the progress report, maybe it's garbage. Also, there's nothing wrong with talking too loud. Outside of shouting, fucking talk loud. Talk in the room. You're going to piss some people off, but guess who you're going to piss off? You're going to piss off the betas. You're never going to piss off the boss. Like I said, when I used to have a job. The boss loved me. I'd sit in a meeting and just be like, look, here's how I sell. I was half yelling. I don't know about what the other guys are doing, but what I do is I tell them they better buy it today. The boss will sit there and go, this fucking guy. But I had the best sales record. If I sat there and go, well, I don't know how you do it, but what I sometimes do is, this is bullshit.
How do they say you get perfect at something? Practice. But that's a lie. And you know why it's a lie? Because everyone says I'm an amazing speaker, but we've all been speaking our whole lives. Most of you have been speaking, a lot of you have been speaking longer than me. So why am I better? What's the difference?
And how? You watch yourself. You study better.
I watch myself. Feedback. Study. If you don't study, you won't get better. I'll give you an example. I'm shit at chess, compared to my dad. I hover between 1600 ELO when I'm really mad, like an idiot, and 1800 ELO in Blitz. I play 3-minute Blitz games. I've been between 1600 and 1800 ELO for about 8 years, even though I play chess for about half an hour a day. I never get better. Why? Because I never analyze the games. When my dad would train me, we'd sit down and do the boring analysis. Why? What could you have done? It's the analyze, it's the feedback that makes you better. Why, as a fighter, if you just spar every day, will you never be good? Because you don't train. It's feedback that makes you good at things, not practice. You have to practice, then feedback, always. And communication is one of the most important things because it's something you do every single day, all of the time. If you're going to get good at one thing, you may as well get good at the thing you do most often. And you're all talking all the time. So you may as well get good at it. So you have to analyze yourself. That's the reason I said this and ah thing. To make it difficult for you, I understand it's nervous. I understand you're up here and you're talking in front of people and it's nerve-wracking. But you should be going through your life in general, catching yourself doing it and not allowing yourself to do it. Because that feedback, it won't take long. It'll take 3 months until you find a way to just stop saying it. And it's so unique that you don't realize how many people you're speaking to who do it until you stop. It's like saying, have you ever seen a red car and you drive down the road and every car's red? When I sit and listen to somebody, I'm literally listening to them thinking, fuck, you've been speaking your whole life. You're a dummy, right? Because I don't do it anymore. So it's a pet peeve of mine almost. But you have to self-analyze yourself all of the time. Don't allow yourself to get away with it when you're not in this environment. It sounds like a small thing, but I'm telling you, when you can compendiously, concisely explain your point of view, when you can do what I do, which is machine gun 5 points at once, especially in a debate, it's very hard to argue against me. If you give me a minute, I've made 5 points and linked it to 2 older points, and I've hinted at a future point. And now you have to counter that. And you're like, you're a misogynist. You can't argue with me. That's why the BBC got wrecked. So you have to be very good. If I was saying on my BBC interview, it would have been over. I could have said the same things with a couple ums and ahs, it would have been over. I'm the worst man in the world. So it's battle, it's war. So I want you to all become very, very good with your speech. Because it's an easy thing. It's not difficult. It's not fighting. You're not getting hit. Stop saying stop saying ah.
How do you structure it?
You need a pause to think. So what I will do is, I will either literally take a pause and stop. And a lot of that is body language to allow yourself to be given the time to do that. Or the second thing I'll do if I make a mistake is I'll repeat myself. So I'll say something like, there's an example. So I'll say. That sounds better than going, so I'll say, and I know English isn't always your first language. I know for some of you people, I'm not as hard because English isn't your first language. I completely get that. It's also the reason I refuse to speak another language because I speak English so well that I don't want to degrade. If you want to speak to me in my language. It's my battlefield. I win. But English is the language of the world, so you may as well get very, very good at it. And it will translate to all of your personal relationships. Your arguments will become shorter. You'll make more money. Everything is from communication. That's why I have a stick, and that's why I have a pet peeve for ums and ahs. Because it's the easiest way to just improve your overall status. Because you also come across extremely confident when you don't use and ah. You look like you know exactly what you're talking about when you don't use and ah. If I say what's 2 + 2 and you go 4, you look dumb. If I say what's 2 + 2 and you go 4, you look smart. The makes you look like an idiot. So it's a pet peeve of mine. I just said it's twice. I just did it. So I'm self-analyzing myself all the time to make sure I don't do that. So that's why I've said it before this, to make it hard for all of you when you stand up here and you're nervous and you start going, But in general life, try not to do it, because you'll see your life improve. You'll see your interactions with people improve in real time. You'll know it. I'll give the game away. I'll give the game away to the entire YouTube world, why I've destroyed absolutely everybody in any debate ever. I say things that they know are true and that they agree with, but I say it in a way that angers them emotionally, and they get caught up in their brain because they're saying, he's saying the truth, but I'm pissed off by how he's saying it. So I want to argue with him, but he's right. So instead of saying men are physically stronger than women, I'll say females are weak. Females are weak. Well, females are weak. Females are weak. Men are strong. Females are weak. No, but but I'm right. And he knows I'm right. But he's mad now. And so is she. And they sit there, and it will happen on Dave Portnoy. You end up having a whole group of people sitting there trying to argue. Well, some women are strong like men, trying to argue the fact that women are as strong as men physically, because I've emotionally controlled them all and upset them all. And then I do a podcast and I get billions and millions of views and unlimited likes against good debaters like Dave and his little crew by just emotionally controlling them. It's an emotional game. I wreck them. I've never given this game away before anyway. But this is what I do. I sit there and I say something they know is true in a way they can't agree with it, and I fucking control them all. Because they're stupid. If I was me, I'd be like, yeah, okay, perhaps I don't like the way you phrased it, but you're very true. That takes intellect. People are emotional. So this is why I wreck all of them. And you're right. I poke them on purpose. And it makes it very difficult to argue with me, especially if they agree with what I'm saying, but they don't like the way it's being said. That's where you see the full breakdowns, the full mental breakdown.
I use perspicacious a lot, indefatigable I use a lot. My favorite words I use.
Compendious is one of your favorite words.
Compendious is another word I like to use.
What is that? What is that?
Compendious means presenting information in a concise way.
Oh, wow. Compendious.
So I'll often say, like, I'm a professional. I'm particularly compendious. I'm concise.
Gotcha.
I'll say that. I'm a professional. I'm particularly compendious, and I'm concise. And then I'll make my point. So regardless of what the point is, before I made the point, I sound like a genius.
Right.
So, Andrew, do you have like a... Where are you picking these 5 words from? You're just going to the dictionary and just
There's a bunch of free email lists you can go get from dictionary.com that give you word of the day.
Mm-hmm. Oh, okay.
I'm going to put it into...
Even on Patrick's Twitter status, it said describe the matrix in one word. I said beguilement, the word I chose. And that was a word I learned only a week ago.
That was a perfect, just put it right there.
Beguilement means to amuse or distract away from...
There's being understood and there's being listened to.
Yeah.
And I can be listened to when I speak. Stand in front of the mirror. Find somebody who you like the sound of.
Yeah.
Listen to an audiobook.
Yeah.
An audiobook of a topic you're interested in, because audiobooks are always read by very talented voice actors in almost 100% of cases.
Yeah.
And repeat after them.
I remember.
They say a line, slow down, breathe, you say the line.
Perfect.
Instead of I don't know.
And get it right.
Yeah, exactly.
Until you get it right. That's the same as martial art.
Yeah,
right?
exactly. If you speak badly, if you say, oh, the bottle of champagne is ice cold. Okay, no one heard you. And you hear in a book, the bottle of champagne was ice cold. Repeat the way he says it. Read it again and again. Listen to it again and again, and try to learn from voice actors and other people who have good voices, etc. Not even me. I don't have the best voice in the world. I'm not the best speaker in the world. There are much better people out there. What was his name? The guy went viral on TikTok. Can't remember. He was just reading lines from movies. But people have very good talents. I give myself an 8 out of 10 because I'm very self-critical. But I can speak well enough. But if you can't, work on it, because that really matters. If you want to be the man and you want to command a room and you want to be a man with presence, maybe you want to, seduce a beautiful woman, whatever it is you want to do in life, being able to communicate your ideas helps a million times over, especially in business.
100%.
Money,
it's so
if you
important.
cannot communicate your ideas,
Yeah.
you could be the most brilliant man in the world. If you sound like an idiot, then you sound like an idiot, regardless of what you say. So learn to communicate. It's exceptionally important.
Think of your last conversation with someone. Where were you looking? Think about it. At them, I guess. I don't know. You're going to like ignorant. You don't fucking know. If you learn your own shit, and you adapt your own shit to have a style which is favorable to you and favorable to your outcomes. A lot of people talk about mirrored body language. I don't like this shit. People go, oh, if you mirror someone's body language, they like you more. Nah, fuck that. That's pussy shit. Oh, so someone crosses their arms. Oh, what's Simon says? It's a little fucking punk. I say how I want to say. I call him into the other room. I say like this. What?